So we all remember the show Pimp My Ride. Yes, I'm back with another video of the dark side of reality. Now I've already done Hell's Kitchen, America's Next Top Model, and Extreme Home Makeover. Now we're about to go to Pimp My Ride. Now in the beginning, they walk up to a person's house and they would look surprised, right? Yeah, they already knew that they were coming. In fact, the homes that was filmed was owned by Pimp My Ride itself. And they would make them do this surprise scene over and over until they felt like that was the right take. Now, this is Seth from season 5. They put him in a home because he lived in an apartment and they didn't feel like an apartment was a good place to shoot the show. And they wanted a nice sized yard for them to pull up in, and so the car would just be sitting in the driveway. Yes, all planted. And Seth said that they rented the house from Craigslist. Now, one of the contestants also mentioned that some of the stories would be fake and would be embellished just for the entertainment of the show. So some of them would have a backstory of how they grew up in the hood and how rough it is and how they just don't have no money to update their car, but they grew up in a nice home in a nice neighborhood. One person alleged that his grandma smokes a lot of cigarettes, so instead of just telling the story, MTV planted a whole bunch of cigarette butts in the car to just make it look worse than what it was. Oh, and we have more. So there was a bigger contestant on the show, and they told this contestant to go get something to eat, leave the bags of food in the car, and that they were going to add more bags in the car to make it look like he liked snacks during his drive. Now that's just diabolical work to me. One contestant also mentioned that he had a girlfriend on the show, and they said, no, that's not going to look good for the image of you having a bad life, a bad car. It doesn't make sense for you to have a girlfriend, so we think you should go ahead and just dump her. Not just keep her out the shoot, but just dump her so she has no problem with not being in the show. Now, MTV also suggested, everything is alleged in my opinion, that somebody should damage more of the front bumper of their car. It was already a little damaged, but they told him to take a bat to it so it looks even worse than it did. They wanted the image of Pimp My Ride came to save this person. He was in a car accident. We came to make his day better. They're the saviors. Absolutely not. They told him to do more damage. They will also put spray paint on certain parts of the car to make it look worse than it was as well, just embellishing more lies. Now, Exhibit went to the Breakfast Club and said that none of this stuff was scripted, that he was able to be himself because it was all reality. But that, in fact, was not the case. Now, when you watch the show, it looks like they take their car for about a week or two and then they bring it back. No, that wasn't it. Some of the contestants on the show said they would have their car for 7, sometimes 9 months at a time, and they only gave them about $1,000 to $2,000 to get around. Eventually, that money ran out, and they had to find their own way to get around. And y'all remember the part of the show where they had to sit around and figure out how they was going to pimp the ride? They said that they often had to feed them line by line because they never got used to the TV scene and they just didn't know how to do it organically. So they were literally fed line by line and would have to do it over sometimes. Now, there were times when people did not like their car. They were pissed off. But MTV said, no, you have to look happy. You have to look excited. And the reason why people were pissed off is because some of these cars had real mechanical issues that was never fixed. They just put like fake things. Like, for example, one car needed a muffler, but they put a fake exhaust pipe. So the car was still damaged. They just added elaborate stuff on there that sometimes they said only worked for about a month or two. And now they had a car that did not work, and the add-ons also did not work. Now, I found that interesting because I thought they actually fixed the car itself. Then they add other stuff, but not they left the mechanical issues and was playing in their face. Now, some of these add-ons was allegedly dangerous. One person said that when they was driving their car, the wheel came off. So that put them in a dangerous spot. And like this pink car right here, they switched it out. So this wasn't the original car that the person came in with, but they switched it out and gave him a new car, and that car still allegedly did not work. Now, everybody was watching Pimp My Ride. I know they had the funds. Now, Exhibit said he did Pimp My Ride because MTV told him that he was going to be able to play his music and his videos on the show. But clearly, we did not see none of that, okay? it actually hindered his rap career. He wasn't able to tour, wasn't able to go to the studio because he was always on air. So they pretty much just used his name for the popularity at that time. Yeah, they did everybody bad. And he didn't like that he was being blamed for the mechanical errors because, you know, he's the face of the show. And he was like, I have no control over that. So it was really just messing up his reputation. Wasn't getting no music done. He wasn't getting paid the way he was supposed to. It was just wasn't good for him. When I say these early 2000 shows are off the chain, y'all let me know what show y'all want to do next. I'm thinking MTV Cribs. Yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. Make sure y'all follow my YouTube. Watch America's Next Top Model Extreme Home Makeover. It's some surprises back there. See y'all with the next one.